A big topic of discussion during these days is the validity and the actual scope of the privacy shield. The privacy shield was an agreement reached between the European Commission and the United States in relation to the transfer of data between Europe and the US following the invalidation of the so-called safe harbor scheme by the European Court of Justice. The agreement was welcomed by especially companies investing in Europe, US companies investing in Europe, but the actual scope of this agreement is still uncertain, and basically, from what we understand, the agreement still has to be drafted. So the assessments on these agreements are kind of meaningless at this point. The only good thing is that the position of the Article 29 Working Party was that in relation to the data transfers between Europe and in the US that are now regulated by the so-called binding corporate rules and the EU model clauses, this can continue to be regulated through these additional tools, but following the approval of the privacy shield that is expected to happen in the next 2-3 months, these tools might be reassessed. So this means that US companies that are now relying on these tools cannot just ignore the negotiations on the privacy shield, because the privacy shield might have an impact on also the validity of these other tools for the transfer of data between Europe and the US. The reaction from some of our clients was to relocate their servers in relation to their European business in Europe. Obviously, this can be done only by very large companies and as an additional cost, as tax consequences, but this is something that might be considered also because the upcoming EU privacy regulation will make foreign entities that offer their products and services in Europe subject to European privacy law. Now, the risk of operating the European business from abroad triggers the fact that you still have the uncertainty on a regime that has to be decided, and on the other hand, you might risk a double sanction because you might be sanctioned under EU privacy law and you might be sanctioned under US law. This is kind of question mark and an uncertain scenario that is expected to last for the next 3 to 4 months, so we're gonna follow it very closely.